Hi, my name is Brandon, and I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery. And one of the things that I was taught early on in my program of recovery is that I needed to look for similarities rather than differences. It's easy to be sitting and listen to somebody telling their story about their experience with alcohol and drugs and finding differences between your story and their story and using those differences as a reason to either not hear what they're saying or to discount the usefulness of what they're saying on your own life. But what is more useful in recovery is to listen for the similarities and to try to identify with things in unidentifiable situations. So, I hear about, for example, I never received a DUI or a DWI. And so if I'm in a meeting and someone is talking about that, I could easily say that I was different from those people because I never received that kind of citation. But that's being dishonest because the only difference between me and those people is that I never got caught because I drove intoxicated plenty of times. So the difference is not in our behaviors, it's in the result of our behaviors. And if we start listening to people a lot more carefully, that's what we start to find is that our behaviors as human beings are often very, very similar in seemingly dissimilar situations. It's the results that are different between people. And so it's important to remember this when you're sitting in a meeting full of people with different experiences, different results, who come from different backgrounds, because it's easy to pick apart anything anybody says just by identifying the differences between your story and their story. What's more productive is to look at how you're alike and then to take what you can from what they're talking about. Now, this extends for me into situations where people are talking about God. Um, I came into the AA program as an atheist slash agnostic. I'm not, I guess it would be kind of an atheist agnostic style of thinking. And one of the first things that I was asked was, can you believe in a higher power? And during my journey in recovery, I've had to make some decisions about what a higher power even means to me and how to incorporate that into my day-to-day life in situations where I have a hard time reconciling my beliefs with the idea of a traditional Christian or monotheistic God. And so I've been able to do that successfully. I can say I feel that I do have a higher power. I have a relationship with that higher power, but I hesitate to refer to that higher power as God in the sense that I might have when I was growing up in the Christian church. And so I think it's important, though, that when I hear somebody talking about that kind of God, talking about the Christian God, for example, that I keep an open mind and don't discount what they're saying just because it's about something that I don't believe in exactly the same way they do. It's important for me to keep a really open mind and to listen to what they're saying and try to draw from that what are the similarities between what they're saying and what I believe. And it came to my mind because I was reading in A New Pair of Glasses by Chuck C today, and he talks about God a lot in this section. And I found myself seeing, even though he's talking about something that seems a little bit different than what I'm talking about, finding so many similarities between what we say. For example, He says that God is that which I am, and God is that which you are. This is the meaning of the words "as we understand him" in our book. As we understood him has no reference to understanding the infinite. It has reference only to the necessity of individual experience. My God, your God, the necessity of individual experience. I hunted your God for 30 years before I got here, and I couldn't find him. I came here not even looking for mine, and we found each other. We have to find him where he is, and he's right here in me and right there in you. So we have to find our own. And I thought that was really important because a lot of people get turned off of programs like AA because they feel like they are indoctrinating Christian theology and things like that. And very clearly, what a lot of people don't know is that there were atheists and agnostics involved in designing the AA book. And that's part of the reason why the phrasing "God as we understood him" is in that book, because they wanted it to be very clear that we are not talking about a relationship with a specific God. We're talking about a relationship with a personal higher power. And that higher power is personal, and it's going to be personal to every individual, just like that individual's experiences are personal to them. And so it becomes very important for us when we're listening to other people talk about their relationship with their higher power, not to discount it if it doesn't look like our own, because that's their personal relationship with their higher power. Our relationship with our higher power isn't necessarily supposed to look like theirs. But if we listen for the similarities rather than the differences, then we can take strength, hope, we can take faith, we can take all sorts of awesome things from what other people say, even if it's not exactly the same beliefs that we have. So I feel like this is really important because I can go into any type of religious order or organization and immediately find reasons to disagree with what they're saying. But I think it takes a lot more strength, and it takes a lot more compassion, and it takes a lot more of the things we're trying to cultivate in a spiritual program to look past those differences and find the similarities and then draw from those to feed our own spiritual experience in life. That's it for today. I'll be back here tomorrow with more. And in the meantime, hope you have a great day.